Hey everybody, so the new Nintendo Switch patch came out, and with it came along the ability to remap your controllers, Pro Controller or Joy-Con. So, an important thing about this, because people are like, oh, well, you can just do everything that you normally would in the Smash game. However, this is not the case because you are able to map R3 and L3, or as it shows here, like pressing the left stick down and pressing the right stick down. So I want to kind of highlight a couple of things that you can do. First off, I'm going to show off the right stick being B, and I will get into anything else I want to show off afterwards. So let's get into it. So being a Pikachu main and Shulk secondary, I immediately thought of some applications for Shulk because I've been trying to learn the L canceling and wave dashing stuff that Salem has been talking about. And ironically, if you have the right stick as special, I'm going to just click it right here so you can hear it. You go into your Monado art, and this is the case for basically you can do a forward tilt, and if you click it, it will go into the art. So it can register as a different button, so it will always be a neutral, or I guess a press of B without whatever the left stick is doing. It is not influenced by the right stick. So the reason this is important, at least for Shulk, is because you can hit R3. I'm going to do it in frame by frame so I don't mess up, even though I was just practicing it. You can hold R3 while you go, and then actually move your C stick to, let's say, any direction. So I'm going to do a down air. And you immediately go into your down air, which allows you to do your Monado art L cancel thing. I forget what all the technical term is called, dial storage. So that is really, really important because now you are able to dial store while doing fairs and stuff, map like, let's say, L to jump and ZL to special, so you can still do this with Shulk. But I think this is like a pretty cool way to actually go about it. So I'm a fan of this. I'm probably not going to play Pro Controller because of it, but I do think it is interesting. Obviously, I'm viewing a lot of these in the terms of my two characters, so I want to know if like there are any other applications that you think. Again, if you think of anything that like this can be used for with your character, please send it to me at PG_ESAM on Twitter. I would love to see it, but this was like immediately super applicable to me. So let's get into the second version. You can obviously change the L3 as well, so you can do that similarly. I don't know if you would want to, but it is possible for some reason if you don't want to hit the A button or something. But another really interesting thing is you can actually change the right stick to the left stick and vice versa. So you can actually play left-handed finally, although again, I don't really know why you would want to do that because I feel like with where the buttons are, that's kind of bad. You actually can't change the left stick to the right stick on whatchamacallit, on Joy-Cons. So this is only a Pro Controller because I didn't even know you could do this until right now when I went to this screen. But I do think changing the right stick to the left stick can have some very interesting applications. Let's look at some. So really quickly, I just want to go over how this will work. So you obviously have full functionality with the right stick. This is me dashing with the right stick. So the right stick will always be under priority of the left stick. The left stick has more priority in these situations for all of these inputs. For example, I'm going to slowly walk with the right stick and then mash left on the left stick, and it will immediately just do a dash to the left. However, if you do the opposite way, it will not do an input. You can hear me smacking the right stick on my controller. It is not moving. So the right stick is always going to be secondary to the left stick. However, immediately when you let go of the left stick, it will actually return to whatever you're doing on the right stick. So as you can hear, I'm holding right, which is crazy because I'm just holding it and it immediately goes, it immediately goes into a full dash to the right, regardless of how early I do it, like right stick. And it goes into a dash. So this has some pretty interesting caveats, I feel like, that could exist. Granted, I'm not sure if it's worth giving up your C-stick, but if you don't give up your C-stick anyway, it might potentially be worth it. I know that Falcon in particular has some weird movement tech, so he like has supposed to like hold down and it like cancels his backdash or something like that. So I'm not exactly sure how doing that works. I know I've heard it like saves 4 frames or something like that, but it's really, really interesting that you can have both be movement stuff. So again, if you find out anything interesting, please send it to me on Twitter. But there is actually a somewhat interesting implication for Pikachu, especially for Pro Controllers, since it is a little harder to do your angles. So again, just to prove that I'm using both directional sticks, this is me alternating left and right. So a pretty interesting thing for Pikachu is the fact that you can now do your quick attack angles with both sticks. So obviously on the Pro Controller it is fairly hard to do the slight angles because there's no notches, so it becomes incredibly difficult to consistently get double angles that are slight angles and not like the general like 45-degree angles. However, if you have enough time and you get good enough at doing the first angle on Pikachu's quick attack, you can just hold the second angle with the right stick and then just let go with the left stick, so you end up getting the double angle a lot more frequently, which I think is super, super cool. It's honestly a really interesting implication. It also could potentially allow to get the, It also can potentially allow you to get the quick attack past the ledge because you can be holding down right with the right stick, and then of course, you know, just holding up B with the left stick. I haven't practiced this, so I don't know if this actually works, but, whoops, it's kind of hard. Like, it's awkward because I'm not used to having 2 movement sticks. Like that. So you end up going past the ledge a lot, which is definitely, whoops, possible for Pikachu. So, I don't know, I feel like this just has some very interesting stuff. You could potentially do some more beefy up Bs without sacrificing your drift as much because you don't have to be rotating your left stick. You can just hold down with your right stick and then just let go at the moment that you're passing the ledge, which I think can be super, super cool. I don't know, again, how big of implications it will have. I know that Tantalus, the VG Bootcamp TO, very much so thinks these should be legal because it doesn't really matter. You can go to his Twitter and check out his little talking about it, which is the fact that it really only is safe to one switch. It does not save with your controller, so you'd have to do this every time, and he definitely thinks it should be legal. So what do y'all think about this? Because again, I think the ability to map L3 and R3 could be pretty big. I don't know how big the double movement one will be, but it seems cool at the very least, because it's just like, I don't know, I mean, again, you can also play lefty to righty, which I, again, don't really understand why you would want to do that, given where the buttons are, but the world is now our oyster in terms of mapping our controller, and I'm really glad they finally let you do this. It's also going to be just better in general for the Switch, because I know a lot of people, like, let's say, PlayStation players would like their A button to be at the bottom, like the X button is, so you can just switch your B button to the A button to the B button, and then everything's backwards like that, and it doesn't have to be in each individual game. You can just have that be the option, so that's nice. But again, what do y'all think about it? Please let me know down in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell, and if you have any other questions about this, please just hit me up on Twitter as I mentioned, and yeah, that's going to be about it, so I'll see you all next time. Bye!